Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to episode number 28 of The Adventure Continues, a Star Trek discussion, bi-weekly Saturday night show where we take a look at one particular episode from either the original series, the animated series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, or one of the 10 feature films that were produced during the time of Gene Roddenberry and Rick Berman's run on Star Trek. And we watch, discuss it, and also add any inside information that we have on the episode, what it took to get the episode produced, or who was part of the episode. And in this case, there is a cast member from the original series involved with tonight's episode, The Infinite Vulcan, and that is Walter Koenig. And with the Infinite Vulcan and with all of Star Trek the Animated Series, it was done in a co-production of Filmation and Paramount. And of course, Filmation, many of you know them for their live action Ghostbusters, not related to the Harold Ramis or Dan Aykroyd Ghostbusters. Same with their animated series based on their live action Ghostbusters series. Of course, you have Brave Star. You also had two shows that sold a lot of action figures in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and She-Ra, Princess of Power, amongst many other productions that Filmation did. But Baron,
as well as other live actions such as Star Command that had James doing it. You had, of course, Arc 2. You had Space Academy with Jonathan Harris in it from Lost in Space. And you forgot to mention Starfleet Academy. And the only reason why I mentioned that is a little known fact. People probably don't know that of this, but originally when pitched for Star Trek the Animated Series, there was a bit of an insistence on having kids along. Kind of like a Starfleet Academy, but not quite. Think of Filmation's other project, Emergency Plus 4. If anybody remembers that. And you had 4 kids running around in a van, and they were interacting with Station 51, basically Johnny and Roy. Kind of wanting to do that, the same thing, but there was a heavy no done to it, and thank God for that. We have the quality animated series we have today.
Yeah, it really is a good series, and I've mentioned this before during Pop Talk several times in conversations with Cash and Baron and other people throughout the years that I consider the 2 seasons that we were able to get of the animated series, seasons 4 and 5 of the original series.
I know fair enough assessment.
I know maybe there are a few people out there who may not look at it that way. They look at it as its own thing, but in my opinion, it is the 4th and 5th season of the original series. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, one, you have the majority of the cast back voicing their characters. You have the majority of the people who worked on Star Trek, as far as the writers were concerned, working on the animated series. Of course, the series was produced, with the showrunner in mind, being D.C. Fontana, who wrote a lot of Star Trek and helped define what the Vulcans really are.
And probably the best animated episode as well. Yesteryear.
Yeah. A very good episode. That's an episode that Anti-Derivative Jill and I actually took a look at and discussed back in February. But of course, we also have a third member of our group. I am just waiting to receive word from the transporter room that he's ready to be beamed aboard.
Yeah,
and that is Euron. I know he's here. I know he's here. And you want to know how I know he's here? Well, first, let me say hello to the Admiral herself, Lady Miss. I also want to say hello to Cadet Euron.
Yeah, you want to make it to ensign? Get in here. Then you'll always be an ensign like Harry Kim. Okay. Back to you.
and he's on both YouTube and Rumble. Tim, also known as FHKC 2005, and I also, speaking of Rumble, want to thank Multi-Dimensional Healing Super Soldier for following over on the Rumble side. Thank you very much for that. Also, the Padawannabe is here.
I'm surprised. I thought he'd be going to see Mando and Grogu for like the 4th or 5th time.
All right, let me send you a new one. StreamYards has been having issues too, brother.
Yeah. Screw you, StreamYards. Not joking.
Try it now, Ensign. That's right. I promoted him.
Wow.
I can't get mad at him because StreamYard's deciding to be a butt, just like Rumble Studio was being a butt last night.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It all is.
Yeah.
And like I said, though, I'm surprised the Padawannabes. I thought he'd be just be rotating around and going back in the theater to see Mando and Grogu, just like Jace was for a Street Fighter in Norway. Sit to kill.
Welcome aboard, Ensign. Yes, I promoted you because StreamYard had the issue. I promoted you.
Yay! I was a half hour early, just no one ever showed up, and then you guys went live, and I was like in the wrong stream thing. It was a mess.
It's all right, brother. It's all right. I'm not gonna get mad at you.
Where are they, man? Come on, man. Where are you?
And then after the show, where is your honor?
Oh, my lobes are tingling now. Let's go.
Yes, you're go press Latin. But Shane, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Oh, long morning, but it's over now. Yay.
Good. So, Shane, when it comes to the animated series, what do you remember about it?
I did not watch a lot of the animated series, so
wait,
I'm a freshie.
Wow.
This is going to be new for you then.
Yeah.
You're going to lose your virginity right here on YouTube.
I know a lot of it's canon, but I don't know. It's just never. I was watching He-Man, you know what I mean?
Well, the show was done by Filmation, who did He-Man, and
I know. I never caught it.
Well, that's the thing, though. A lot of people didn't really watch it when it first aired, and then the first time I actually became aware of it was when Sci-Fi Channel had it. You know, back when they were Sci-Fi, not Sci-Fi.
Yeah, what a dumb change.
Yeah, it was. But let's be fair, though. Really, after its original airing and until it got to like Sci-Fi, it dropped off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know? No one saw it really. There was no one. It was airing it. It was just like, hey, remember there was a Star Trek animated series, and
what about it?
Yeah, exactly, and that was basically it until now. Sci-Fi did it, but didn't like one of the others come out with it before that? I can't remember it.
It might have been in syndication for a short period of time.
I couldn't remember. I was thinking maybe Nick or something like that might have put
maybe
for a short time, but then of course Sci-Fi. But yeah, I think Nickelodeon might have. It was kind of one of those little resurgence, where they start showing all this old stuff that no one's seen, and people are going, "Oh, cool."
Was this during the original show, or was it like after the original?
It was a few years after the original show. This actually aired between 73 and 74. And of course, with the show itself ending in 69, you had a good 4 years before you had anything new for Star Trek on television.
Right. And not only that, it was also aired the first episode on the same day as the original series. So,
September 8th, 1973.
It's kind of crazy. I think there was a time without Star Trek.
Oh man, it was a wilderness.
I was watching Red Letter Media early this morning as I'm getting stuff ready for tomorrow's Pop Talk, and they were talking about an episode that three of us reviewed a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about Parallax. And they were saying, watching that episode makes you really appreciate older Star Trek compared to new Star Trek.
Oh, new Star Trek.
And we're we're talking about the second episode of Voyager, where they're still trying to find his feet, which sometimes can be the best episodes because they're willing to take chances.
Mm-hmm. But if everybody is ready, it looks like at least 7 people are currently ready in the Cosme side for me to start hitting the play button for this animated series episode. And I will do so. So here we go. The Infinite Vulcan from the animated series.
Press that wonderful button.
It's been pressed.
I mean, look how hard they tried to make it look like the original.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, what you'll notice, Shane, as you're watching this episode is this isn't some dumbed down kid show. It's very much Star Trek.
They did it right.
Did it right.
I guess that's kind of one of the reasons I've always avoided the cartoons, because I didn't want to, the children's version.
Mm-hmm. If anything more, they're kind of more trippy.
They could certainly do a lot more as far as killing people and stuff on a cartoon.
Or different type of aliens and landscape.
Oh, yeah.
Did I hear Kirk go F you, George?
No, Baron. Okay. You did not.
He slowly whispered, "We're gonna leave you here."
It's a walking dandelion. Aw. Even the phaser ones they had.
Yep.
It's like a triple with legs.
Yeah, but why does any away team member touch something when they know they shouldn't?
Well, let's be clear. Sulu touches a lot of things he shouldn't. Oh my.
But take a look at the sets. They wouldn't be able to do this in the original series.
No. The amount of effort that Filmation put into the animation, you got to give them a lot of credit. Hal Sutherland directed a lot of these episodes.
1 minute to live.
And one thing about the animated series, Shade, James Doohan, who played Scotty, also voiced other characters throughout the animated series.
Oh, yeah. They used his voice talents. But look at these aliens. It
would cost a pretty fortune to do that.
And it wouldn't look good.
I could just see the fake flashlights behind the little yellow parts that they would have used.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or now it'd be all CGI.
Yeah.
Living plants. Chekhov always wanted to put George into danger. He made him scream this time.
Who's your captain now?
They're fungus.
Oh, he's going to show him. But look at that. Even the background painting. They wouldn't be able to do anything like that in live action.
No.
Also worked to save us from his disease. There are evidences of gram-positive bacteria. It's carried by humanoids without ill effect. The Staphylococcus strains don't seem to be native to this planet. It must have been like a plague. We had no way of knowing what was happening. You were alive then? Very young.
And I think you'll recognize that sound from a lot of He-Man episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Work on any setting, sir. There is a weapons deactivator in effect here. Your destructive machines will have no effect. I think it's after you, Jim. Return to Enterprise. Yes.
And even some of the music cues.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this was that kind of show.
But there was no other way. What are you talking about? Where have they taken Spock? He has been chosen to serve a greater cause. The Master has searched many years to find a specimen like
Whoa. Oh, no.
Oh, my.
Now, all the worlds of the galaxy will share in the beauty of peace and harmony.
And Tree-Rock over on Cosmic says it's a trap.
Another planet. No, definitely human, Jim. I am Dr. Stavros Caligula's spy. Welcome to Philos, Captain Kirk. Where is Spock?
Gone.
Him is mine. Here is your communicator. Go back to your ship.
More like Adonis, Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
Captain, you will leave now or suffer the consequences.
Oh. The Shriekers.
I mean, even look at the drawing of the Enterprise. It's moving, trying to give it that 3D effect.
Mm-hmm. And make it look like it wasn't a TV show as well.
Mm-hmm. All the attention to detail.
Somewhere our sensor scans can't penetrate. What about the Phylosians? I have to adjust for the fact that they are plant-like forms. We're registering the lesser ones, like the swoopers in abundance. No sign of Agmar and the other four. Agmar said something about a weapons deactivator. So, lock ship's phasers on that laboratory.
And even in the background, you can see the computers are working.
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Eriks.
How are you coming with that information on Caligula's?
Nothing current, Captain. I may have found something in the history banks. I'll have it in a moment.
Keep trying, Lieutenant. Phasers locked on and ready, sir. Fire phasers. Fire. No effect yet. Phaser stud was neutralized at a distance of 1,000 meters above the area, which proves our weapons are useless.
No, it's not. Crank that juice.
How's that special equipment coming along?
Scotty's always efficient.
Yep.
I have the information now, sir. I'll put it on the main screen.
Thank you.
I remember the episode where he entered the Enterprise and he was like, "Oh, laddie, you aren't telling them how long it really takes. You've got a lot to learn about being a miracle worker."
Yeah,
Yep.
relics.
Oh,
And that's
my.
Nichelle Nichols provided the computer voice.
Mhm.
It's a good show. Oh.
After time. After time.
Yes. Time after time, Baron. Aid Trance, welcome to the stream. We are currently watching The Infinite Vulcan from Star Trek, the animated series.
Oh, my. A reflex.
Mm-hmm. Again,
Mhm.
it's not written like a kid's show.
No.
The number of ships indicates a mass migration or invasion. Aguilar said they were peaceful people. Sure they are now. What about before? You could have a point, though. Slow ships. The city. The Philosians built a technology possibly greater than anything we animals need. The ships look like they never got off the ground. Could be the disease Caniculus accidentally brought here swept the planet before they could do whatever they were going to do.
Good job, Caniculus.
Only the Philosians. Well, followers can be led. Let's hope we can be as persuasive as Caniculus. Aguilar, we don't want to hurt you, but we must have Spock back. I do not think that is possible. The Vulcan of order, durability, and strength is the finest the Master has ever found. We are pleased Spock will carry on our work. Carry on your work? We are the last of a dying people, Captain. Once we had a great mission, then disease decimated us. We few are the frail remnant of what survived. Our spore cells have been destroyed. There will be no more of our kind. What if something happens to Spock or the Master? There will always be a Master. But come, you are worried about your friend. I will show you he is safe and in good hands.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
All the same, that bag.
Kirk doesn't trust him.
Would
I don't
you?
blame him.
Here, gentlemen. We sprang from the soil, Captain. These tunnels were once part of our home. This will serve to illuminate our way. No wonder we couldn't find Spock. The walls are 600 times denser than lead. In addition to the surface force field, Akbar, use the belt lights. They don't operate. Akbar,
Yeah.
we've got to find some light.
Yep, a trap.
Do anything unless we can see what we're fighting. Don't stop. Try to stay together.
Agmar, you bugger.
Up ahead. I see it.
You double crossing.
Yeah, never trust a species who tells you they're not warlike.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And our plants.
Yeah,
Because of vegetarians.
dirty
Oh, no.
hippies.
Well, it's nice they actually had a uniform for him.
Well, you know, for being Filmation, they weren't really a high budget animation studio. They used what they had.
I know.
Pesticides.
DDT. Too far deep.
Mm-hmm.
Box Springs. Kind of remnants of Star Trek 3.
Mm-hmm.
Maintain communication, we would have to burn out all our reserves.
Don't I know it, lass? But we must.
She's chewing them out.
Which is something it's here to do in the series, but it's good to see her do it here because she's next in command after Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does God need with a starship?
All power sources locked in, Mr. Scott.
And we wouldn't have Mr. Eriks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Vulcans do not condone the meaningless death of any being. Spock's death is meaningless. If it is only to create a giant version of himself. It is not just a duplicate. He will be the beginning of a master race.
I would have loved to have had a animated series done, but post motion picture in pre
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek 2.
I
What
think
are
it
you
would have
talking
worked.
about? Lower Decks is a fine piece of art.
It's not this.
Force throughout the galaxy. That was why I have to sign off.
Just goes to show you that you don't need a bunch of pretty pictures to tell a beautiful story.
No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they've never done anything like this in Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
If you have Spock's mind, you'll know the Vulcan symbol called the Indic. That is the first infinite combination, symbolizing the elements that create. Could an army of Spocks impose peace and Felosian philosophy on any other beings in defiance of the Indic concept? I do not believe so. Reverse the machine, Caniculus. No, our train must not be allowed to die. Murderer! You killed Spock! To persist in this position, Captain, is to negate the eloquence of your previous thought. May I suggest a more constructive way? My mind to your mind, my thoughts to your thoughts. The Vulcan mind touch. I am pleasantly surprised at your capacity for deductive reasoning, Captain. When you are not being bellicose, there appears to be no end to your arsenal of formidable talents.
His Katra's back.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know it's actually Spock now? Transporter theory.
True. There are a lot of people that say whenever someone uses the transporter, it's not that actual person that beams up or beams down. It's just a copy of them.
Yep, the real one's dead.
But what's going to happen? What will happen when Pomfar happens?
Oh boy. Well, you better clone Savick then.
I'll report your work here. I think the Federation will understand.
Yeah, all his war crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause it. Because again, with these animated series episodes, they're very short.
Oh, well, you noticed that. Half hour long.
Yes.
Well, that's long compared to today's attention spans.
Yeah, it's true. But as you can see, even then, far superior to Kurtzman Trek, the animated show. I mean, no, but then again, you had Koenig writing it. But interesting to know what would happen if Koenig would have wrote for Next Gen or something like that.
Which character do you think Koenig could have written for in Next Gen?
Ooh, there's a good question. Who in Next Gen would he? Wesley. No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe Wesley.
Anyone could have done better with Wesley.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Excuse me. You know, you might have had a field day with Worf.
Well, nobody could really figure out what to do with Diana. I mean, they tried over and over again to give her special episodes, and they just didn't hit.
On a very special episode of Star Trek Next Generation, it's a Deanna Troi story. Please tune in.
Deanna has to decide what type of chocolate she wants to have for her ice cream.
Well, that is a serious thing to take in consideration.
Yeah, I know. But Shane, being that this was the first animated series episode you see, what did you think of it?
I thought it was really well. There was something nostalgic in watching the stop motion animation and the cell shading.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
aside
Yeah.
from the beautiful colors and the art, the story itself was just, why can't they do this anymore? This was a very basic but pleasing and captivating story. Doctor Who's forgotten how to do it. All the old classics have forgotten how to do this now.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to do either.
No,
Mm-mm.
and you don't need to spend $1 million an episode to do it.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's the keep it simple, stupid principle. It really is. And again, with this being animated, they were able to do wilder things. And that's what's something to really appreciate. I mean, not even Next Generation could do half of that when it came around. No, they had
That's
to start
true.
going.
And you know, speaking of Next Generation, I've also seen one for Voyager where somebody has done an episode of Next Generation in the same animation style that
Mhm.
Filmation had for the animated series, and they've also done so for an episode of Voyager
Yep.
in the same style.
Yeah, the one with the fishy, the Tom Paris and Janeway are proud parents.
Mm-hmm.
But I would really have loved to have seen something like this for, post, the second 5-year mission, as we like to sit back and say. And, it's not too late. We can do it. I mean, we'd have to recast a lot of voices, but, and have someone else overlooking it so it's not turned into garbage. But I'd love to see the movie Enterprise on new voyages like that. Just like, I suppose when people knew that the show was out, loved seeing the old Enterprise new
Mhm.
missions.
Well, we never really got all 5 years of the 5-year mission, did we?
No, we
No.
did. We only heard about, Kirk going on a second 5-year mission. We never actually saw him go on that 5-year mission that was considered the second one.
Mhm. Yeah, taking place after the motion picture. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had comics, you had books, but other than that,
We
Yeah.
never saw anything on TV,
right?
which would have been officially canonized.
Mm-hmm. You could be wild. I mean, some of the comics they had were wild.
Mm-hmm.
The Marvel, when Marvel did the motion picture on Up, there's like, wow, this is some weird. This is some trippy stuff, man. This is Star Trek, man.
That's the thing. You get the right people involved, they can write good stories for Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it hasn't been the case in recent times. And I'm saying that as someone who's tried to give
Well,
Kurtzman.
there was if anyone's interested in the comic books, since Barron brought them up, there was a really good crossover from Star Trek and the Green Lantern called The Spectrum War. It was a limited edition from IDW that was just an amazing storyline.
Okay.
It had Star Trek basically helping out all of the different Lantern Corps.
Because I never knew about that one. I knew about the X-Men Star Trek crossovers that they did. They've also done, crossovers with Transformers and a few other franchises. Doctor Who comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was it's not really that great, but there was a follow-up called Stranger Worlds where the Lanterns became a part of Starfleet.
I mean, it would make sense if they were, out there.
But, yeah. Khan wears the red ring.
Khan?
Yeah.
I have a ring. I can make a construct that I can use to kill you, cock.
But yeah, this episode, I don't know. There's something about me that craves this level of Star Trek again.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm never gonna see it.
Well, never say never.
Well, the current people doing Star Trek just need to let it go to bed for a couple of years and go away.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Even that video I was watching earlier, they were talking about how they've noticed how channels who still go back and talk about episodes like this. People have interest in what came before because it's much better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I would love to explore these plant creatures more in the Star Trek universe. Like, imagine one of these guys being a botanist and on the ship.
It would work.
It'd be awesome. It would have changed Voyager a lot.
Oh yeah. It certainly would have. They would have figured out a way to, get the right soil composition for the different plants they discover on other worlds, and they would say, "Oh yeah, this one's edible for you guys. This one is not."
Mm-hmm.
But also with these being a half-hour episode, the fact that they can do a beginning, a middle, and an end in less than 30 minutes, that shows the talent of writing right there.
Definitely. And which was always my complaint about the animated, is because it was a half hour. It's like sometimes it was too quick, But yeah, I mean, to be able to sum everything up like that, boom.
Now, I have a question for you, gentlemen, and of course, this is also a question for the chat. With this having been only a half-hour episode, do you want another?
I don't mind.
I would love to.
All right. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go down the list of animated episodes. And you tell me which one you want to see. So we had the first one, Beyond the Furthest Star. Then we have, of course, Yesteryear, which Anti-Derivative Jill and I talked about back in February. One of our planets is missing. We also have the Morlai, I can never say that right, signal. A sequel to a classic episode from the original series, More Tribbles, More Trouble. The Survivor. Of course, we just watched The Infinite Vulcan. Mad Tricks of Magus 2. Once Upon a Planet. Mudd's Passion. Yes, Harry Mudd returns in the animated series.
Yep. And played by Roger C. Carmel.
The Terratin Incident. The Time Trap. Let's see. Aunt Burgess Element. I know I said that wrong. I know. You can all boo me, downvote me, and
boo.
Throw tomatoes and vegetables, eggs. All right.
Hey,
the slaver
chat.
Well,
the slaver weapon, the Eye of the Beholder, and yes, it is called Jihad.
Oh, we just got banned. Sorry, YouTube. We're talking about cartoons. Copyright.
Albatross, the Pirates of Orion, the Practical Joker.
I've heard of that episode.
How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth, and the last episode of the animated series, the Counterclock Incident.
With the first appearance of Captain Robert April.
I do not know enough about the animated series, so I will acquiesce to Ronnie, who says in chat, tribulations.
Yeah. More tribbles, more troubles.
More tribbles, more troubles.
But you two gentlemen know me, so
I think that's a good episode to go off of. All right.
everybody loves a tribble.
Anyone else? You all have a vote.
I was going to say it's Time Trap, but more tribbles, more troubles is a great choice too.
Mm-hmm. And DJ says, yes, I intentionally misspelled that. I'm always misspelling stuff, and I get mad at myself.
Tim Traps.
All right. So it's going to be more tribbles, more trouble.
They clock up the food process. Imagine if a tribble ever got to Earth.
Oh, God.
It'd be an economic disaster.
All the farmers of the world are saying, my grain.
And Peter's still defending them.
Yeah.
Make good meatballs when you get them all deferred.
They need to bring back this trippy music thing too.
Mm-hmm. This is the 70s right here.
Yep. In a nutshell. 70s filmation. Yep. Can you imagine if that was used for Star Trek Phase 2? And of course, written by David Gerald. Yeah, definitely. Written by David Gerald, by the way, who did the original one.
Mm-hmm.
Did he?
Yeah.
Nice. I love
not
how
only
the
does
gave a lot of the original people, work again.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Not only did David Gerald write the original Trouble with Tribbles, he wrote this episode. He wrote a few episodes of The Next Generation.
That's not a standard NCC.
Nope. And you get angles you wouldn't have gotten of some of the other ships too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a cool image of the D7.
Very generic sounds.
Yeah.
I love it.
And notice on the left side, Filmation had animated a turbo lift on that side.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That always bothered me.
I keep trying to figure out what species that orange dude is.
He's an Idoan.
Idoan?
Idoan, yeah. Lieutenant Eric's. 3-armed, 3-legged. Damn, that's a beautiful ship.
And DJ says, plus leaving that door open is risky for isolating The compartment.
Oh, my headphones.
My ears.
I've been hit by the Klingons.
Yep, the stasis beam. Both of which were introduced into the Starfleet Battles games and Faz's Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. I always like that line by Uhura. Mr. Sulu, ready the slingshot. We're going to fire a rock.
I prefer trebuchet.
Hand to hand if we have to.
Someone give Sulu a sword.
Yep.
So nothing works except conveniently their telecom screens.
Mm-hmm. And that's Kirk. Doesn't want to lose the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's Koloff once again.
Yep. And I always loved those robot ships too. Which, of course, when they did the remasters, they put a little command pod in front of it and turned it into cargo ships in the remastered Star Trek series. Wouldn't that be too late?
You would think so.
Sorry, I'm legit fucking. I'm sorry. I am legit interested in this.
It's okay.
This is intense. It's one thing no Star Trek has done well, the Klingon Wars. You got the intense action between Kirk and Khan and all that, but like the nitty gritty of these wars, you never really see.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the Dominion War.
And yeah. And of course, the voice is the same actor who played him in the original episode. Boy, does he look like a
Yeah, you're the ones that figured it out.
Yeah.
Neutered.
Yeah. A creature that eats tribbles. And this is how the great tribble hunt began for the Klingons.
Yeah.
Something Worf mentioned in Trials and Tribulations.
McCoy's humming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he's not cussing, he's not happy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Spock was annoyed. Oh, really?
Hmm?
No, I'm getting a message. I don't know who the anonymous Raven is, but
I didn't want to interrupt the show, but if you were using RumbleBot, I wanted to give you a heads up.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I use the Rumble bot, but I don't use it for my chat or anything.
Mm.
I just use it to pop up links and.
Mm-hmm. Bye, little robot. Uh-oh. Happy little tribbles. BRB. LOL.
How could you?
Hey, Tommy, what's up, brother?
I can imagine them sitting around a table trying to figure out the weakness in this field. Like, well, they can Only control one.
Mm-hmm.
A limitation they wouldn't put on today's garbage.
Showing the shields.
Oh no.
They may not reproduce, but those tribbles get fatter.
They can't even eat it.
And Tom is saying that he has tribble slippers that they shake and make noise with buttons and batteries.
Jeez.
Yes, it just keeps getting bigger.
At what point do you start just, teleporting them off ship?
Just wait.
By the way, if he infested a Klingon planet with tribbles, he's a hero, not a criminal. For this time period.
Unfortunately, the Klingons don't see it that way.
Well, at this time, space belonged to humanity.
Fat triples and stasis beams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just little side gags.
Uh-huh.
Not
Just
to
like
where
the
it takes up
original
the whole episode. Yeah.
Amazing writing.
What's Plan B?
We're about to find out. This is why I said wait.
Tribbles. But if the Klingons would have destroyed the ship, they would have destroyed the conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Poor little Glommer. Bye-bye. Bye, little Glommer. Mm-hmm.
And see, you learn more about these particular tribbles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nah, I ain't fucking.
It's like,
Oh, that's what they meant by colony. Okay.
Yep.
I was sitting there trying, in the back of my head, I was trying to figure out how it would work out. Nice little throwback.
Trip, trip, trip.
Bravo. I truly enjoyed that episode.
And it makes the right connections to the original episode, expands on it just a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But Shane, your thoughts on both of these episodes?
I give it more credit than I ever have before. This was incredible. That show had me from start to finish. I was all up in it. I was in the moment. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
If I was around in 73, 74, I would have watched it on Saturday mornings with my bowl of cereal.
Oh yeah.
I barely remember watching a couple episodes of it when I was young, and even then, it was hard for me to find because they kind of did a move around on it, and it was gone. So,
and little kid Berman was sad he couldn't find his Star Trek cartoon anymore.
more perplexed. Where is it?
There he was, ready to watch Captain Kirk while eating his Captain Crunch.
Yep, exactly.
Not going to lie, that sounds pretty good, right? But
Captain Crunch.
Again, just fantastic art, fantastic story, amazing show, and didn't cost $1 billion an episode.
No, very shoestring.
I mean, that was the reputation of Filmation. Yeah, they weren't a big, high-budget studio like Walt Disney. They did reuse a lot of their backgrounds, a lot of their animations, but they still got the job done when it came to telling episodes.
I mean, they brought a lot of things, good things to life. Besides the aforementioned ones, we had the Flash Gordon animated series. That was a great series. A great series.
This episode also has, since these are canon, this has significance because this episode explains why the Tribbles didn't conquer the universe. Yeah.
Well, it was a great Tribble War. That's what.
Well, I mean, you get one, and next thing you know, your plan's over. Look at the Klingons.
Well, and that's the thing. It was canon. It wasn't canon. It was canon. It wasn't canon. It was canon. Then Gene died. So this is canon. And this always was canon to me. I didn't care what Gene Roddenberry said. This was Star Trek.
Through and through. And, even things from the animated series have been brought into live action or at least mentioned in live action.
I mean, one of the most that Roddenberry at one time was saying, if there's anything that is canon from that, it was Yesteryear.
Well, Gene
But if you
Roddenberry
include
had
Yesteryear,
every once in a while, Gene Roddenberry would get in his own way.
Yeah,
generation it happened less because he had a writing team that would be like, no.
Well, not only that, his health was declining, and
yeah,
it was up to Rick Berman and company to pilot the ship, and
they did the best they could.
You had to.
So, when did the animation start doing time travel?
Oh, he asked that.
Which one?
Does he?
Which one? There's several. There's a time trap. There's yeah.
It's my joke that when a Star Trek show starts focusing on time travel, it's over. Every series stops when they introduce time travel as the main plot.
Yeah. I mean, the time trap, as the description reads, the Enterprise and a Klingon ship must join forces to escape from a pocket of universe that has been trapping starships for centuries.
Jeez. Oh.
And of course, the main time travel episode of the animated series was Yesteryear.
That should have been the first episode.
It should have.
You mentioned the Practical Joker. I actually want to watch that episode because that's an episode I've heard of.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Do it. But be warned, it has Romulans in it.
I like Romulans.
I'll be stinking Romulans.
Rami the Romulan.
Don't you ever just think of Rome?
Well, that's how they came up with the Romulans. Romulus and Remus. All right, Tommy, I'll show that after this episode, brother. If you don't mind.
We're going for it.
I mind.
I might have to take a pee-pee break.
Already did.
Did you at least put the cap back on the bottle?
Always. The official 414P jug.
Now, guys, you can buy that on the merch store.
Yep.
The whole bottle.
Actually, I closed down the merch store. I gotta find a different vendor. I just didn't like how Teespring did things.
That's understandable. There's a lot of those bad faith online merch stores. A lot of those t-shirts, one you gotta watch out because they're made with, Chinese labor.
Mm-hmm.
Romulans. What all?
And that's Kirk
Right
being a
away.
captain.
Run away. Run away. Run from the Romulans. Aye. And that was one of the heads of Filmation doing the voice. I can't remember which one it was.
I can find out. Because sometimes Lou Schreiber would provide voices throughout their works.
Yeah. Yeah, Schreiber. Yeah. Well, it's unidentified Spock. I doubt it.
And for anyone who might be curious, who also provided voices in the animated series, well, Ted Knight provided a voice.
Yep, in the Survivors.
Yep. And Lou Schreiber did provide his voice in 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
What the?
And Norm Prescott is the one providing the voice for the Romulan commander in this episode.
Oh, Norm Prescott. Okay.
Yes.
Food synthesizers, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sulu did it.
Yeah, I blame Sulu. It's his fault.
Give him a thrashing. Oh my.
No, just shove him out the airlock.
What is? Bro, I gotta find me that cloud.
It's getting Scotty everything in the kitchen sink.
Maris.
Mm-hmm. Voiced by Mitchell Barrett.
That's a race that's only in the cartoon, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Species, I should say.
They made a background appearance in Star Trek 4. Yeah, Sulu did it.
Yep, it was Sulu. Oh, don't look shocked, Sulu. The ship's stoned, man.
And there's our first holodeck.
Uh-huh.
Sulu. This is Fire Island.
You have woods by the ocean. I mean, it's a hologram room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can set the parameters of the program any way you want. Communications not even reaching them.
I could just see the writing room having a lot of fun while making this episode.
Yeah. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when they were writing the animated series.
Why did the computer actually build the hole instead of just making a hole?
Making the hole appear under their feet?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We are.
McCoy's angry. You don't want to make McCoy angry. No,
This
really,
is
you
the
don't.
future of AI. Dad jokes.
Remember when the computer had a crush on Kirk?
Yeah. Rip it out and install the backup computer.
Yep. That's what you get for using TRS-80, or Trash 80, as we used to call it.
Well, it's still just a finite room.
Mm-hmm. It's Skynet.
Yeah. Officer Scott. Interesting. Mm.
Give it a bag of Cheetos and
And
some
tell
good
it to
music.
relax.
Yeah. So 420. It's a room.
And your girl says, give it some chocolate and wine. It'll relax them.
Yeah. Nice little soak near the sun.
The USS Haha. Literally a frozen door.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tommy, the video is failing to load. Yeah.
Oh!
Although it is affecting Spock because he covered his eyes. It's that human blood of his.
Hey, at least he'll go out with a chuckle.
Go out with a smile on your face.
Mm-hmm. Pull my finger. Mm. But at least you're not freezing.
We live in a crazy world, gentlemen and ladies.
Truly do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, you're not kidding with facts.
Mm.
Answers the age-old question: where would the ship go if the ship could decide?
Mm-hmm.
Chuckle, chuckle.
Still trying to get to work, Tommy, but X is being a butt. Welcome back, Tim.
Hey, FK.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's Klingons. What? Wait a moment. No, they're Romulans.
Remember, the Klingons and Romulans were allied during this time.
Yep, I know. Yeah.
It's freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out.
Yeah, he is freaked out.
Kirk versus
Hell of one out of us. This is actually our third episode of the animated series that we watched tonight.
We're on a binge, man.
Whoa.
They're at ludicrous speed.
That's a good
Dangerous in here.
question. Is it infectious? Can it infect other ships just by being near them?
Daisy, Daisy, tell me your answer. True.
All right, Tommy, I finally got that video to cooperate on X. I'll show it here in a little bit.
Da 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 da. Bump.
All right. I have to take a quick break.
All right.
He's taking a quick break, boys and girls.
While Shane is taking that quick break, I'm going to show you the video of Tommy's Tribble slippers.
The Tribble.
Did you get them during the Great Tribble Hunt?
Cyrano Jones here for Tribble Slippers.
All right. There they are.
Oh. Tribble.
Hold on.
I was talking about my Tribble slippers.
It'd be kind of hard to sneak with them.
So only one of them's going off.
Those are cool, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he must have gotten them during the Great Tribble Hunt. I now wear them as slippers as a reminder of a great victory.
The Klingons make Tribble merkins as a symbol of their victory.
Yes. But Baron, what did you think of these episodes?
Well, again, this is again great Star Trek. I mean, yeah, not every one of the episodes of the animated series knocked it out of the park, but the same as the original series and such.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, as we've all been kind of saying, seeing the old style animation like this is tugging at the old heartstrings a little bit and making us want to have, hand drawn or hand done animation, cell animation like they used to do back in the day, instead of relying on the CGI or now AI that everybody wants now. And of course, it comes down to storytelling. I mean, we had two stories. No, I can't remember who wrote that first. Oh, Walter Koenig and David Gerald. I mean, right there, you have two people alumnus of different ilks of the original series. I don't know about the chap who wrote this one, but obviously he.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out because I didn't even pay attention to it when.
Yeah, I saw the name. I wasn't familiar with it. But yeah, it's just like Tim says, it's better than New Trek in every way, shape, and form. And they're doing it in 20 minutes, 20 some minutes. And boom, you got a good story that comes out. It'd been nice if some of these episodes had a little longer.
This episode had contributions as far as the writing is concerned. Sorry to interrupt you there, Baron.
Yeah, no problem.
But it was Chuck Menville, DC Fontana, and Len Jansen.
Okay. Yeah, they only had the one name that was on the screen, but yeah. Again, calling through and polishing, making sure everything is good. And again, Dorothy Fontana. I mean, and I'll say this again: if it wasn't for Gene Kuhn and it wasn't for DC Fontana, we would not have Star Trek as we know it. It would not have enamored itself to the public and to make fans, and so in some ways, in spite of Gene Roddenberry. So, a lot of thanks to Gene Roddenberry for giving us some of the basic ingredients, but they're the ones that really cooked and made it into a delightful meal, and that passed on to the animated show here.
Mm-hmm.
And again, its limitation was time. But with the animation, though, they had no limitations. As we've seen with some of the effects.
They could draw an alien species that they wouldn't have been able to do because of budget constraints for the live TV show.
Yeah.
And tell a story around it. Like, could you imagine if they even tried to make the plant species into live action? It, like Shane said, it wouldn't have worked.
No.
But also, even if they, tried as hard as they could, you could tell it was just somebody in the costume.
Right. Or a puppet or whatnot. Yeah. And of course, those limitations, even going into Next Generation, is where we get, why does everybody look the same? Oh, the precursors. No, budget. I mean, all you had to do is take a look at the animated show to give you insights on, what different type of aliens you could have, right from Eric's and Mares on the Enterprise to some of them that you met on the road. So whether it's in the episode Jihad, whether it's in this episode, the Infinite Vulcan, actually not the Practical Joker because it was just Vulcans and Romulans, but yeah, it's, or even the Glommer in More Troubles.
That could have been a puppet, though.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been. It would have been interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. Especially depending on who made the puppet, how it would have looked. Some puppets, depending on the company, look real good. Other companies, it's like, yeah, go back to the drawing board.
Well, I keep on thinking of Cat's Paw
when
it comes to puppets.
Yeah,
that'd be my only worry. But not just the main aliens on the Infinite Vulcan, but of course the little walking weed in those flying creatures. I mean, you would never have anything like that in the original Star Trek because, again, not besmirch it, but budget, the ability. There was no way they could have done it, or at least convincingly.
They would have tried and tried and tried, but eventually they would have said, you know what? Let's just chalk it up.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're dealing with a weekly series. I mean, you think about it. You're trying to get this stuff out in a timely fashion. You just don't have the time, the money, but you have all the creativity. But even then, that comes to a halt fast because of the other two things.
Yes. Now, I am interested to know what Shane has to say when he gets back. But honestly, folks, you really should give the animated series a shot. If you like good Star Trek, you'll find it in the animated series. The episodes go by fast, as you see.
Yeah. But, if you think the only, as they were trying to make it seem like the only animated Star Trek was Gutter Dex in Prodigy.
I'm back. My apologies.
He's back!
No need to apologize, brother. No need.
We're just waiting for you.
We all have to get up and do something at some point.
Yeah,
so
just
no
wait
worries.
till the new store opens up at 414. You never know what might be available.
Well, I got to find a good vendor first.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. But Shane, what did you think of these episodes?
Well, I thought they were really classical pieces of work as far as Star Trek goes. This is the era of Star Trek that the rest tried to emulate. And like I've said before, I consider like the original Star Trek was the young, wild teenage years of Starfleet. And then Enterprise, you had a more maturing Starfleet. And then by the time the Dominion Wars and stuff, they were pretty much set in their ways, and Starfleet was established and everything.
Not only was Starfleet established, Starfleet had a reputation, whether it was good, whether it was bad, it was up to the individual planets and systems to decide whether they liked the Federation or not. But
all the other captains dreamed of this time period in the Wild West of space.
Yeah. Because, there was adventure. There was less bureaucracy. Starfleet wasn't sitting there going, "Get off my asteroid field."
No, Starfleet was going out there and encountering new worlds and the species on those worlds, new threats, and trying to figure it out on the fly. How do we deal with this?
Right. Which means, you sometimes had to do things that wasn't cool to survive. But, and that was part of the struggle. That was part of the story. That was, it's like, the prime directive. Well, the prime directive is what got this problem going. So let's work around it. We're going to have to break the prime directive from the prime directive causing the problem. And it comes down like I'll go to the Next Generation. When you have an entire world that's basically dying, but yet Starfleet wants to keep the prime directive. I think about that time it's a little too late then. Prime directive could be flushed down the toilet. That you can do anything you can to help people out.
Yeah, I would open and channel the Starfleet command, and I would say, "You're not going to like my decision, but this is my decision. These people need our help. They can't wait much longer."
And I'll see you at the court martial. You got it. Sometimes do the right thing. I've always viewed the prime directive as a draconian law, with no room for spirit of the law, and like the episode where Data meets the little friend Neki Cox, that episode, right? The whole place is falling apart. Was it Pen Pals?
Yes.
Yeah, Pen
Season
Pals,
2 of Next Generation.
And so you got this entire world dying and whatnot, but we're going to play to the prime directive still. It's like, no, do whatever you can. You got to come in and become the saviors, and then let them know, no, we're not gods, which I don't think they would have been confused for.
No,
and whatnot. So, yeah, it just goes without saying. It's like, no, Starfleet, bite me.
And let's also bring this up. It was Sharzhenko who made the distress call. It was literally a distress call. And Starfleet ships are supposed to respond to any and all distress calls, whether they're from a friend or a foe.
Right.
With the caveat that it does not endanger the ship.
Yes.
Right.
And this would have endangered the ship. All the Enterprise would have had to do was enter a stable orbit, lock onto as many people as they could all at once with all the transporters that they had on board, and beam them aboard.
Right. Granted, there'd be a lot of explaining to do, but
Of course, there'd be a lot of explaining to do, but all Picard would have to do and all Data would have to do is submit their report. Data saying, I responded to this transmission, told the captain about it. The captain made the decision to set a course to the source of this transmission and beam the people that were still alive aboard.
mm-hmm.
But Jean-Luc, that's a clear violation of the Prime Directive. Admiral, I believe that sometimes the Prime Directive gets in the way of doing what is right for people.
No. You're not doing it right. I'm sorry. I'm so very, very sorry.
I'm Baron, I'm channeling proper Picard. We are Starfleet. We are here to help. We are here to better ourselves.
I'm not doing Star Trek impersonations. I'm not dealing with that hate mail.
Yeah. But the thing is, Shane's absolutely right, though, too, about this. This is these are the halcyon days of Star Trek, of Starfleet. I think that's the reason why everyone wants to seem to go back towards it, despite Paramount's wishes, which is why they keep on coming up with these crappy series that's supposed to be taking place around it, are rewriting it, and doing a piss poor job of it, mind you.
Hollow shells.
Ugh. Oh. But that's just it. I mean, when the bigger sense of adventure, I think, of all the Star Trek series was this one of being out there. I mean, Next Generation didn't seem like they really got that far out there before they kept on getting called back here and there and everywhere, including Earth.
Yeah, Jean-Luc, we need you back on Earth. There's been an incident at Starfleet Academy. Jean-Luc, we need you here. But I'm supposed to be exploring outside of Federation space. Yeah, well, we still need you here.
That's really a misconception, though. I mean, yes, this Enterprise, the original Enterprise, was designed to go out on a 5-year mission out in the deep space. But the Enterprise of Picard, that was a humanitarian / diplomatic mission most of the time.
But it was supposed to be exploring.
The Galaxy class was designed to explore deep space for a long period of time without having to rely on the resources of a starbase.
But that wasn't its mission most of the time. Most of the time it was on diplomatic or humanitarian missions within Starfleet space because it was the flagship.
Yeah, well, that's just it, though. They never got out there, and the flagship was supposed to be leading out into the unknown to show Starfleet. But everything was designed about the ship was supposed to be, she was supposed to go out there for 25 years at least. And that's why you had the families on board, because that way you didn't have to come back. And it was intended that they were not supposed to be coming back to Federation space, at least very rarely. And along the way, especially when you got to the episode Conspiracy, that kind of went out the window. Because they seemed to keep going back to Earth all the time, or didn't be going out there. So they failed. They failed their intention of what Star Trek Next Generation is supposed to be. It's supposed to be Star Trek, for bigger, better, bigger, badder, and more
uncut.
Beyond. Uncut. There we go. While of course DS9 was more of a homebody. And you got that with Voyager, but it missed marks. It just missed marks on that one in many fashions because they didn't, again, with Next Generation, they didn't capitalize on the situation at hand. So I guess everyone was kind of going back. Yeah, this does feel like a more frontier, a frontier-esque show where, they really are out there. They really are out of contact.
And that's the thing. As much as we can like these shows, we can still find things to nitpick about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the original series, they never went back to Earth except back in time. They were always going to a starbase of some sort. The only time we saw Earth in the 23rd century in the original series was in the menagerie, which of course was from the cage.
That's why I
Other-
say that Starfleet really did mature during it. Starfleet was a more mature and more established than it was in the younger Wild years. I mean, it had responsibilities. It had hundreds of planets to look after, and it had dozens of sectors. And I mean, it made sense that the Enterprise and Picard would spend most of its time within that center because it was dealing with Klingon, Romulan situation. It was dealing with many diplomatic situations within the core itself, which took most of its time up.
Because you mentioned the Klingons, it was Picard and crew who were sent to Kronos to help decide the new chancellor of the Klingon Empire.
Yeah. I mean, it was just the wild years that's why I loved Voyager, honestly, because Voyager embraced the wild years again. You had a ship out there in the frontier and she still maintained the Starfleet mission as she was trying to get her people home to explore and seek out new life and, do the whole thing.
There's even an admiral in season 7 that says to Jay Wayne that, nobody has found these many species and these many worlds since James Kirk himself.
Yeah. It always I never really questioned the Next Generation staying within mostly space because it made sense given the missions that they were on.
And of course, Deep Space Nine, they had a lot of it brought to them for the station. Yes, occasionally they would have an episode where they would go to the Gamma Quadrant, but a lot of times the species and the encounters came to Deep Space Nine.
Well, I think the original mission only went like 1,000 light years away from Earth and back.
Let me look that up.
I could be wrong. It's like 1,000, 2,000.
He's typing away. He's getting.
I am.
Because that's the type of man he is.
Oh, I'm trying to find out the information.
He's got to check with the computer systems.
Unfortunately, I don't have a computer. Well, I suppose I could set it up. Say, computer. How many light years did Captain James T. Kirk and the original crew of the Enterprise travel during their first 5-year mission? And then wait for the computer response.
Affirmative.
Here, I'll Google it if you want.
I Googled it too, but all it's saying is uncharted space, deep space. It's not telling me how many light years. And I asked it, how many light years did Kirk's original 5-year mission go? These systems. And then other sites are saying the 5-year mission. No. What was the distance? Has anybody come up with the distance, or is that something that nobody's even thought of yet?
I don't think anybody thought of that.
How far did the original Star Trek Enterprise get it? The original USS Enterprise, NCC 1701, under Captain Kirk, had 2 famous recording break deep space encounters. Blah, blah, blah. The edge of the Milky Way.
Well, they even went out of the Milky Way.
In light years.
Okay, so another search. The USS Enterprise original 5-year mission under Captain Kirk likely covered tens of thousands of light years, though no official canon figure exists.
See, I got a completely different answer.
It depends on what you're using. I'm using Bing.
Bing.
Let's see. I'm going to Memory Alpha.
Ooh, Memory Alpha.
Average exploration radius. The ship's normal cruising range on the classic warp scale gave its theoretical 5-year round trip range roughly 2,500 light years.
That seems probable. More probable than the answer I got.
Yeah.
Again, you do have to factor in the warp scale that was used in the original series.
I think it was what, 6?
Well, it was a complete.
Go ahead, Baron. Go ahead.
It was a completely different warp scale in the original series compared to Next Generation.
Okay. So how do they relate? I'm not that sciencey, like into the.
Well, basically, take the warp factor and times it by 3 or cube it, and that's how how fast you're going light year.
Okay.
That was with the original series. And then somewhere along the way, Gene Roddenberry thought he'd change it all up for Next Generation and confuse everybody.
Yeah, at least in the Star Trek Encyclopedia, it does have the warp scale from the original series compared to the warp scale used in later series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it makes sense. The technology changed. Things got more efficient.
Yeah, because remember, in the original series, they didn't have a warp core. They had a warp reactor.
Yeah. Also, Scotty hadn't written a lot of the magic yet.
No, he hadn't studied all his technical manuals yet. But yeah, I mean, you make that reference to Relics where, Geordi's talking about how you have to shut down the dilithium chamber before you can do a certain procedure. And Scotty looks at him and says, "Forget it. I wrote it."
Or when he opens up the main chamber, almost
don't you know your dilithium crystals are going to fracture?
Whole different ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, but like we've been saying all night, the animated series is just proof positive that it worked. And no, Lower Decks was not the first animated series for Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Neither was Prodigy. It was Star Trek the Animated Series back in the early 70s.
Ugh. Do we have to call Prodigy Star Trek still?
We don't have to.
I don't want to call any of that stuff Star Trek. It's Star Treks.
Look, us of a fandom have been through some things. We've seen some things that we don't want to talk about. Let's just agree that those things don't exist anymore and move on.
Can we agree that Code of Honor from Next Generation doesn't exist?
Yeah. Let's all be the Klingon Council and just turn our backs on that one.
That works. That works, especially for this Klingon. But yeah, this was a lot of fun being able to watch these 3 episodes. And again, they go by quick.
Yeah.
It's not like they drag on and, they're trying to stretch out the episode as far as they can. It's like, no, this is the story we're going to present to you. It's mainly an A plot. There might be a small B plot, but it really has nothing to do with the outcome of the story, and we're done.
I love how the writing fits the situation too. Like with the Tribbles, there was a lot of jovialness, a lot of sense of humor in them, but in this one, it was a lot more dramatic and intense, and you were really drawn in, like what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and it's just getting worse, Tommy. I could even set it in StreamYard for the stream that I don't want any ads played during the stream, and YouTube will still do it. even if I set up in StreamYard and tell it not to do it.
There's not a single moment wasted in this story telling the story.
Okay, when it comes to Threshold, I like the premise that they're experimenting with transwarp drive as a way of getting back to the Alpha Quadrant. However, I don't like the Salamander Paris and the Salamander Janeway. And they leave their salamander babies behind. What the hell? They abandoned their kids.
Yeah, typical.
And that's how Earth seeded.
So, in 1,000 years or so, those kids are going to have an empire, and they're going to come to the Alpha Quadrant and declare war on the Federation because their parents left them.
Who do they think they are? Tyrus?
We won't see them.
We hope.
I don't blame you, Tim.
Well,
But yeah, is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up about these episodes? And
it's just great seeing these again because of it's just all the I haven't seen a lot of these in a while, and we talk about how we love the original. Well, let's get back to watching all these original ones and get that blood pumping again.
Mm-hmm.
I think in some ways kind of shied away because I didn't want my heart exploding from the high blood pressure, because watching the old stuff while this new stuff is just being out there insulting it just when it's like pop it just we need these old ones again and seeing how it is, and hopefully people who know. I'm hoping the times are a changing, and we're going to get people in there that know what they're doing.
I don't know, because
after a break.
I'm hoping they're just pushing out all the last of the crap. That what we're seeing now trickling out is just the death throes of it, and people will get back to writing good entertainment, because the entire entertainment industry has abandoned America for this wokeness. Like the Hollywood is shutting down. It's just bums everywhere. There's no stars left. They've all moved out. All the mansions are just getting dilapidated at this point. We have no entertainment industry left, and it's because they've forgotten how to do this.
To tell a story, to put their own personal beliefs, politics aside, and tell a story. And I'm not saying that Star Trek never got political. It did touch things that were happening at the time, whether it be the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, any of them.
No, again, it was political. It was social awareness, not social justice, which is the two big things. Social justice is the mouth breathing morons that we have running around today with their blue hair, and social awareness was everybody going, that's food for thought.
It's just people they hired before and trying to fulfill the contract. Then they're gone. Well, don't forget that the writers and the actors agreed to a 3-year deal. That 3-year deal is about up.
Yep.
Paramount can still turn around. Disney is done. I don't think it's too culturally entwined with all the worst parts of what's been going on in this country.
And to answer your question, Anthony, I think it's just gotten more political as the generations have gone on.
Yep.
Well, I would say that during the 90s, no one paid attention to politics except for your crazy quote conspiracy theorists or your racist uncle at Thanksgiving. And then everybody woke up in the mid 2000s to a pandemic and got hyper political, like overly pathetical, because no one had been paying attention and realizing how bad things were.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, think about it. As a teenager in the 90s, I didn't really give a shit about politics.
Oh, dude, I was punk all the way, late 80s through the 90s.
And they were politically charged movies, but they didn't necessarily resonate as well. I mean, sure, there were a few that did, but other than that, no. I mean, yeah, you had All the President's Men and such, but other than that, you did have political movies, but a lot more intelligently written, you might say.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Anthony. There are people out there who will see something and go, "Oh, this is woke," and it's like you haven't even watched the full 5 seconds of it. Oh, it's woke. It's woke. It's woke.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any disagreement among the fandoms that have been destroyed that writing rooms have been ideologically captured, and the only way you can really describe it easily is by saying woke.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that, but there were some people that were even saying Resident Evil Requiem was woke, and I'm playing the game, paying attention to the dialogue, and I'm going, it's not woke, folks.
Well, that's the danger of cancel culture. It can go too far, and it has in a lot of examples. Like, people are too easy to dismiss. They're too hyper quick to destroy, lesser quality projects, but not woke projects.
Am I guilty of looking at something and saying, "Oh, this is woke"? Oh, sure I am.
Oh, heck yeah. This show's woke.
Yeah, Baron, this isn't Pop Talk, so I'm not going to shove you out the airlock.
Okay. No, but some people would probably say we are too, because we don't go out there and follow the cavalcade of stars.
I'm trying not to have a knee-jerk reaction to every single thing I see.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's important. And I think that's what's important about Star Trek. If we didn't, if we're going to be fighting for this, right, we should learn the lessons. And one of the lessons is with Star Trek, don't be knee-jerk. Don't go jumping to conclusions right away. You're supposed to use logic and reason, and of course the ethic. Very important why you had Spock there to have that logic. And of course, you got that heart with McCoy, and you got to have those work together. And that's what a lot of our fellow YouTubers out there, as my joke was leading to this about being too woke, it's like, oh, you're so quick to say it's woke, right? Just 5 minutes and it's woke. Well, our side just got to sit back and calm down, smell the roses, and remember, if you're really truly fighting for what we lost, then start practicing it, because doing that same knee-jerk jumping all the time, you're in their camp and you can't be. Yeah, we all do sometimes. We're human, but try to make a practice otherwise.
And I don't think any of the older generation of Star Trek fans, myself included, have alienated any younger folks from wanting to enjoy Star Trek, getting involved in Star Trek. It's those who wrote for Kurtzman Trek who alienated those fans of the older shows by saying, this isn't written for you. This isn't meant for you. We're trying to get a new generation of fans.
We're always welcoming new fans to this fandom, but at the same time, don't rewrite our fandom and tell us we're wrong for having a problem with it.
But that's just it. Star Trek has always been opening. I'm talking about old Star Trek. It's always open to people. If you wanted to come in and enjoy Star Trek, you were, come in arms wide. And of course, this is the one thing that the Kurzman new trackers couldn't stand. You'd have debates. You had people actually having honest, legitimate debates with each other about the episode, which is what's important about social awareness compared to social justice. Like, we're not trying to tell you what to think, but it opens up that dialogue between people where you have clarity to agreement, and that was the important thing, to have that clarity to understand. You get that empathy. You start seeing through other people's eyes how things are, and that's what was important. Now, that welcoming that we had with the original series, the original base of Star Trek back in the day, compared to what we had to have now, we've been told many times by not just the fans, but the people who produced the series, including Jason Isaacs, saying that if we're not writing for you, this is just for us. This is for only like-minded people. And he did say that. And it's like, oh, Jay, first thing he did, throw Eric out the window. And, well, you're not an idiot. And
no, and I want to respond to this.
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
I have a couple of friends who went with me to see the 2009 Star Trek movie. They enjoyed it, and they even told me that if Star Trek was more like what they saw on that screen, they would have watched it more. They wanted my opinion. And I said, yes, Star Trek has had episodes where there's pew pew and bang bang, but that's not the core of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I like the J.J. Abraham Star Trek movies, except for the third one. The third one dropped the ball.
A lot of people didn't like it.
I like the first one mainly because Leonard Nimoy was in it.
I felt they missed their opportunity. They should have done what they planned on doing, use the original movie as a jumping point for a TV series, but they never pulled the trigger, and they couldn't get Christopher Pike to settle down on a TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Anthony, you're not an idiot for liking those movies. You like what you like.
Right. Now, my personal opinion, no. I don't think they're Star Trek. They don't pass the litmus test. But you like them? No worries. Why should it bother me? But when it comes around to the toxic fandom, I found the reason why you're getting responses like that has been a reaction from what us old timers, quote unquote, been getting from the toxic new tracks people. And exactly what I was saying before, how they basically told us to F off unless we walk in goose step with them. And that's not Star Trek. So you're going to find old timers that are, what should we say, that do react that way and to you, and I'm sorry that they did. But it's just the frustration of the whole thing and the abuse that certain fans have gotten because they don't like what Kurtzman did to Star Trek.
Yeah. And Anthony, I completely understand being of a certain age and looking at something that was made prior to the year you were born and looking at it and not having any kind of connection to it. I mean, looking at some of the series from the 60s, yes, Star Trek is from the 60s, but I look at, some of the series from the 60s that I don't relate to. Green Acres is fine, but I don't connect to it.
Come on, you gotta like the pig.
The pig was the star of the show. So it's understandable, seeing a movie or TV show made before you were born and not being able to get into it. Not a lot of people can get into the first pictures that had sound. They feel like they're disjointed because you can hear everything. And let's see. Tommy says, I hated JJ's trash first off because it shit on established lore. Second, because JJ literally said he couldn't care less about lore. It's pretty evident. Most directors hate the fans. And I hate Michael Bay for the same reason. And I've said it many, many times, Tommy. The one thing that kept me seated in that theater for Transformers 2007, Transformers 2009, Transformers 2011, the 2014 film, Bumblebee, and even Rise of the Beast was just to hear Peter Cole and his Optimus Prime again.
Mm-hmm.
They knew how to play our nostalgia, and they had the technology to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. That's why I said the trilogy, Star Trek new trilogy. I don't know what they call them. The J.J. Abrams generation.
Yeah, the Abrams film, the Kelvin timeline.
J.J. Abrams wouldn't have done the TV show. They had a couple people they were trying to get to do it. So he was just going to do the movies and then as jumping points for the shows, but it never worked out.
All right. From having seen one episode of Starfleet Academy, Anthony, and a few clips, it didn't connect with me. It wasn't the Star Trek I grew up with.
You see how competent and insanely driven the kids were in Wesley's academy years, and how efficient and military and precise it was. And then you go see a Starfleet Academy and what that crap is, and all the kids are retarded. Like they're all crayon eaters.
Yeah, I mean,
what's wrong with using Star Trek's Bible as a crutch, the guidelines as a crutch as to how the stories for Star Trek should be? I'm not getting mad at you, Anthony. I'm just asking a reasonable question.
And
if you don't have the Bible of what the universe is about, how the universe is supposed to operate, how are you supposed to continue that legacy that was started long before you?
See, the important thing to remember is why is it important for that Bible? Because that sets the precedent what the series is. Every one of the IPs that we have out there have their own form of quote unquote Bible or how that universe is. And you stay in between the curbs, you might say, as you're driving down that road. And if you go outside of that curb, you're going outside of what basically is the foundation for that series. Now, as we all know, the road is wide, so there's plenty of room to move around in. So just like Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, how diametrically different they were, but they were still Star Wars. They were still within the curb. They didn't jump the curb, or the shark, you might say. Now, with that, you have the other side. You have those that are so relentless that it's got to be on the center line or else. You can't go off the center line. Well, that is just as boring. The Bible is the whole lane, not the center line, not off the curb. That's why we hold to it, because those are what the core belief is. And that's how it is. And if you don't have it, then everything starts blending together like, well, I hate to say it, like they are now. What real differences there are between these IPs now? Oh, we go into space and go pew, 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 pew.
And Anthony says, what I say as a crutch, Mike, what I mean is I've seen old generations use that to point where they want to cram it down everybody's throats and force them to understand the lore. Well, I think if you're going to be writing a show that has already established itself for as long as Star Trek has, for as long as Doctor Who has, for as long as Star Wars has. I mean, it's going to be 50 years old next year. Or any other show that has long established roots. You have to understand that where it originated still factors into where it's going.
If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have it today.
Well, Anthony, those old people suck, and you should hang out here at Pacific 415. We appreciate you and younger generations.
Well, yeah. And you're always going to find snobby people out there.
There's always been snobby Star Trek fans. Even when I was a teenager 30 years ago, Anthony, there were snobby Star Trek fans at the conventions then who weren't open to the idea of Deep Space Nine. They weren't open to the idea of Voyager. They weren't open to the idea of Enterprise.
Well, and let's not forget the Next Generation when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm old enough for that.
But honestly, it's part of being human.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find things that we don't like, and we're going to voice our opinions on those things that we don't like. It doesn't matter if you're young, if you're middle-aged, or if you're older. We're always going to find something that we don't like, and we're going to disagree on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Bible is not a crutch for these series. They are what created. They're the core. They're the creed. This is how this universe came about, and this is where the universe should stay.
Tommy, because brand sells.
And if people who are doing these shows don't like it, well, make your own show. Don't take an established thing and then start destroying what came before. And then start telling those that were before they can F off if you don't like it. You just haven't grown with the show. No, you just took something and destroyed it.
Well, Doctor Who buries multiple generations and wasn't created for any of them until the modern one. And now they have to stick Doctor Who in the bottom of a vault for the next 10 years just so people forget what they did with it.
Well, but the thing is, when you come back to what you're saying there, yes and no. They were made for all ages, which is one thing that is the painful thing for the Kurtzman Trek. They are written in a style that no matter what era you'd be in, they are using the quote-unquote proper English. No slang, none of the stuff. It's as neutral as possible for people to understand. They had a sense that people will be watching it. The thoughts and ideas of the original Star Trek, sadly, are still around today. There are still issues that we're dealing with today, which makes it very
relevant.
Right. And as it goes for Star Wars, well, again, Star Wars was meant for everybody. George Lucas was taking things from his childhood, such as, well, myths and legends, King Arthur, Robin Hood, all that fun stuff mixed in with his own history of racing cars and, of course, the serials he grew up with that were old when he was a child because they came out in the 1930s, such as Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, and many others of that. He took those up and packaged them and made Star Wars. Well, what he packaged was timeless, just like the original Star Trek, timeless. Doctor Who, the original, timeless. These were meant to be neutral in that sense that they could endure the era of time. Now, of course, Doctor Who with the special effects, that's a different matter. But besides that point, again, Doctor Who was meant to. Yes, Doctor Who took on issues. The Green Death, an environmental issue out of the John Pertwee era. If you want to go back, the mutants, also now known as the Daleks, but the serial was originally called the Mutants. The first appearance of Daleks, of course, they were using that as a stern warning about atomic warfare, nuclear arms race, things like that. And of course, with that little twist, one race turned into beautiful people, the other was into little nasty blobs and little bumper cars. and such, or even the Cybermen.
Mm-hmm.
The Cybermen about the fear of too much technology getting people into people's lives. Like we're not getting that right now, and the dehumanization of the human. So yeah, I mean, there was always a message or something there, but again, it was something to make it go and think about than trying to force down your gullet and see, if you don't agree with this, we don't want you watching.
Well, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having a genre that you lean more toward than another. Not everybody gets into sci-fi. Some people don't get into Star Trek because of all the technobabble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But of course, that came about in the Next Generation era.
Yeah, that was Next Generation. That was their little tool to make up for we need to fill up so much time, so let's do technobabble. But meanwhile, J. Michael Straczynski writes an entire couple minute scene where one man has the whole line. I mean, that's the difference. It's like, really, you have to rely on technobabble instead of coming up with something meaningful line or something. But
and you have to understand too that all the original people that watched the original Star Trek are pretty much gone. So everyone defending the original series now is actually Enterprise kids. I grew up mostly with Enterprise, though my dad and me watched the original series a lot.
Well, think about it too, Shane. Most people that are defending the original series still are people our age because we watched it with our parents.
Right. And we see that the original people are dying off and the original fans are going away. And we know that we're old. We're an old fan base at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And the next generation is completely, I don't know. They're just ignoring all that's come before. And there's no one, people like J.J. Abrams and them are trying to destroy this franchise while the original fan base dwindles off.
Well, I think what also needs to be emphasized is if you want to get someone who's younger than you into a show like Star Trek, like the original series, then you sit there and you explain to them what is going on in the episode, why it's going on in the episode, why was it going on during this particular point in time when it was made. Give them a little history lesson.
Mm-hmm. Which is what's so good about this show.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not always here. But about the Klingons, was the race that sparked from where the
he's saying that he thought that the Klingons and Spock were the same species. No.
Oh no.
Klingons and Vulcans are completely different species. Vulcans and Romulans are related because there's a faction of Vulcans that left the planet Vulcan for a new world because they didn't believe in suppressing their emotions. They believed in using their emotions. Mm-hmm. Star Trek explains that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, Surak wanted to create peace because they were warring people, turning them into kind of Buddhist with pointy ears. And they didn't like it, so they ran off and built a Roman Empire, the other ones. So they're like cousins now, I suppose.
Yeah.
Distant cousins, no joke intended.
And I realize not all sci-fi is easy to get into.
Oh no. I mean, you have all different types of science fiction. It's a shame that everything is blanketed under that because you have science fiction drama, which basically Star Trek is. You have science fantasy. Well, that's Star Wars. You have science fiction, action, adventure, kind of Buck Rogers. You have all across the board. You have science fiction comedy, Red Dwarf. All across the board, and that's what's wonderful about it. Some people only like the one type. I like it all.
And Anthony, please don't take this as an insult, but I've even said that when we have TikTok nowadays, there are people with very low attention spans, and it's not all the younger generation.
No,
There are even members of our generation.
It's by
Exactly.
design.
yeah.
It went from 30 minutes to 20 minutes to 10 minutes to I think the average video now is 5 minutes.
Mhm.
They've slowly lowered the attention span of the population through televised programs and how long they've determined to make them.
Blipfords. No, Max Headroom phrase there.
And Tommy does mention sci-fi horror,
Mhm.
Predator and Terminator,
Exactly.
fantastic films.
Mhm. And Predator maybe even going to the category of action adventure. Well, no, action adventure. Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
I think although this is completely a fan theory, I don't think this is official lore, but the reason the Romulans and the Vulcans have different physiology is because when the Vulcans split, or when the Romulans split off and landed on Romulus, they had a limited amount of people and they were dying off the sickness and your usual issues with colonizing a whole new world. And so in the early years, they bred with other species to raise up their numbers.
And you're welcome, Anthony. And this is what we should do as human beings: have discourse, sit down, and listen to each other's points of views. Anthony pointed out why he has a disconnect with Star Trek.
Yeah.
And we explained it, and we had a conversation,
Mhm.
a civil conversation. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
We just proved it.
We did.
My only problems with modern Star Trek is everything concerning modern Star Trek, and that's all.
Well, again, they're more proud of accomplishments the fact that they said the first S word or the first F word, I mean, because that is some shit in generations.
The original Star Trek nearly caused cities to burn because it showed the first white man kissing the first black woman on TV. People literally wanted to burn the studios down. So don't tell me about firsts.
I mean, at least tonight with the conversation, we were going at each other, calling each other, well, double dumbass on you, like Kirk did in Star Trek 4.
I saved that for cash. But no, I mean, the purpose of this, I'm proud of Mike for it. And of course, when I get my channel going a little bit more, is to explain why this is important, why all of this is. This is something that goes back millennia. It's not a recent thing. Our myths, our legends, our folklores, all that are very important. But you can't mix Nordic mythology with Roman mythology. They don't mesh. Just like Star Trek and Star Wars. You can't mix them. They don't mesh. And it's important to have that differentiating.
Well, Star Wars is in a galaxy far, far away. It could just be in a quadrant Starfleet hasn't reached yet. So,
but no, I'm talking about the whole thing there. No, don't make me kick you out. This isn't pop talk.
but Anthony's absolutely right. Common sense is not common anymore.
No.
We're all so hyped up in emotion. It's like somebody says something that we don't agree with. We're ready to fight. Instead of being ready to fight, why don't you just stand back and listen for however long it takes?
Yeah, I love talking about this stuff. I love talking about this stuff with people. I love talking with stuff about with people that don't understand it and want to know. But that's the important thing. They want to know. It's like, why? Okay, well, this is why. I mean, no one should be insulted by the question why, as long as they're serious about the question why.
I mean, I legitimately feel bad when somebody new to the channel comes by and I'm getting frustrated in the game and I'm not in the best of mood at the time they come by and, they go, well, hi and bye. You know, it's because I'm frustrated, and I have unfortunately taken out on some new people in the chat when they, made some kind of comment just to try to make me laugh.
Guys,
And I've taken it the wrong way.
No.
I've acted like a Klingon. How dare you? No, I'm not proud of it.
I got banned from Marvel Rivals chat for 24 hours because I got pretty rude last night.
Oh,
jeez, what did you do?
Did somebody insult your targ?
I made it to Gold 2 on comp. I'm now eligible to join the elite ranks.
I want to see a Star Trek series, Mike, where you blend stuff like Jason Bourne, 3 Days to the Condor, and Jack Reacher. That could have been the perfect Section 31 series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding. That would have been the perfect Section 31 series.
For the first season of 31, I would have done all Romulan espionage versus Starfleet espionage done in like a Blacklist kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you have pretty much the whole universe to work with. They could be spying or doing missions anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And a way a show like that could work, you have one main star, and every week there's a special guest star.
Yeah.
You talk about Star Trek Impossible?
Pretty much.
Bum, 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 bum.
Section 31's doing the dirty work that Starfleet won't do.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, I would have brought back those brain bugs that almost took over. What were they called?
You're
from the Enterprise, or
you're talking about the ones that we saw in Conspiracy and Next Generation.
Yeah. That would have been a great whole season for 31.
Mm-hmm.
Them covertly dealing with that. There were options here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's still more options to tell stories. There's still ways to tell stories. It's still fit.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll never get a fan like us to write this stuff.
Unfortunately, I don't know if they want fans to be writing.
Nope. They just want you to buy their AI slop.
But you know what I do think? I think you need to get someone like Tommy, someone like you, Baron, someone like you, Shane, Dork Girl, Lady Mist, Anonymous, Anthony, myself, and many other people. Get us all together and have us come up with stories.
Yeah.
Put our combined knowledge together, put our combined thoughts together. No, I'm not saying we assimilate each other and become Borg. I'm just saying we're there in a room and we're coming up with story ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And a Star Trek series doesn't have to take place in the 24th century anymore. It could take place 200, 300 years after Picard and crew.
Mm-hmm. Late 25th century would be my idea. Mm-hmm. And of course, you'd be tired of me. It's like, Baron, quit bringing up a Tribble episode. Every time we turn around, it's Tribbles this, Tribbles that.
We know, thanks to Trials and Tribulations, the Tribbles are still around.
Yep.
Come on, Mike. Come on. Give people a break from this arc that you have them on right now. We need an episode where people can just go, ah.
Yeah. Palate cleanser.
The Tribble Army. Oh, they evolved. Now they're like Tribble Raptors.
Yeah. Oh, now they're really going after the grain.
No, they're really going after the Klingons.
But no, I don't think any franchise should alienate an audience, young or old.
No.
I
mean, the only way is if it's just not their cup of tea. That's the only thing. I mean, just like, My Little Pony's not my cup of tea. Okay, I'm alienated from it, but whatever. But they shouldn't be going out there and being assholes. There we go, assholes.
Yeah. And what were we going to say, Shane?
I was just thinking about that episode and how like this King on farm planet is getting destroyed by tribbles, but I'm trying to think of when I've ever seen Klingons eat bread.
Mm-hmm.
All I've seen them eat is gawk.
Yeah.
And gawk is best served live.
What's on a farm planet that tribbles eat for a Klingon? It's a good question, isn't it?
Well, I'm sure they had roasted targ as well.
Yeah, you can explore the more political side of the Federation, with the Federation Council, the Federation President, what they have to go to, something we've never seen. We've only heard, the Federation Council has agreed to these terms, or the Federation Council wants us to go here, or we've, seen a couple of presidents of the Federation, but to never really delve into actual Federation politics, I mean, that's still exploring the unknown.
Mm-hmm. Starfleet, NCIS.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Gene Roddenberry never got overly complicated with politics in the show, so it was always just a tool for whatever was going on. Gene Roddenberry expertly put human conditions in unusual situations. And I think that's really what made Star Trek.
Yeah. I do think a concept like 24 would work, but I also think you have to involve Section 31. It would be that type of show where you have this agent from Section 31 who's going deep into Romulan space, or deep into an unknown part of space, at least to us, to deal with matters that no Federation starship has ever dealt with or will deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do think it could work. Would they do it? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the reason why we didn't see anything really like that, because Star Trek was meant in Gene Roddenberry's mindset to be wagon trains to the stars, even though that was more of a tag he was trying to give a buzz to the execs than anything else.
Yeah, to get them to pick it up, because at the time when the original series was airing, you had a lot of Westerns.
Mm-hmm.
And Westerns sold to the audience back then.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about Bonanza in particular. And how long that show ran for. Yeah, Star Trek CSI. Why not? Why not? Let's see how good these security teams are. And Starfleet's head of security.
I wouldn't say Starfleet Council's a MacGuffin.
I would say it's like our own government. You only ever hear about when they're doing something bad. You know what I mean?
And I think about the only real time we saw them was in Star Trek 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Kirk was on trial.
Mm-hmm. Even though we saw the president in 2 movies.
Well, there's a lot of episodes that deal with Starfleet, being questionable or the Federation in general being questionable at times on issues. And there's certainly enough episodes to show that the Federation has done crime in secrecy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do have warships, whether they want to admit to the wider Federation that they have them.
Well, look at the Defiant.
Right.
Yeah. And most of the Federation don't know the Defiant exists.
I think they do now.
Well, now they do. Now it's a legend.
Until they start mass producing them.
Yeah. But at the time of Deep Space Nine, no one had ever even thought that the Federation would build a warship. Look how many wars they had been to without designing a dedicated warship.
But also remember in that episode, Search of Deep Space Nine, the Defiant was originally designed to fight off the Borg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Borg killer.
But your average Federation user wouldn't know anything about that.
No. Your average Federation citizen wouldn't know. There wouldn't have been too many Starfleet officers that would have been privy to that information. Yes, Cisco knew about that information because he was part of the project.
Yeah, so it's like
and he had a personal vendetta against the Borg.
You only ever really know what's going on when they do something really, really terrible. And the same is true with the stories. These ships are out there in space. They don't know the everyday comings and goings of what's the councils are doing or talking or politically arguing about.
No. Whether it be amongst Federation members or other worlds, what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Just like in our own government, we don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes.
Heck, most people aboard these Federation ships would know little more than what the regular news tells people.
Mm-hmm. Now, maybe a captain would be privy to certain information.
Oh, I'm talking about the crew and stuff. Obviously,
no, but hold on. Certain information, if it pertained to that particular captain, if that captain was, that person that needed to know. But other Federation captains who didn't need to know that information wouldn't even know what happened.
Yeah, the Federation is definitely not as clandestine as it would like most people to believe.
No, because there's different subspace channels for a captain only when they're getting priority messages from Starfleet Command.
Mm-hmm.
And they get orders from an admiral saying you are not to tell any of the crew about this. You're just to tell them we need to set a course here. And you're the only one that needs to know.
Exactly.
Okay.
But was there anything else you guys wanted to bring up about tonight's episodes that we watched?
I think I've covered everything I can.
All
yeah,
right.
we just need more of it.
Yeah, we do. We do. And, just get interest from other people who, want to take the time to watch it and, enjoy it and explain to people, this is why this is happening. This is why that's happening. Mm-hmm. It's why I know with this particular show, it's going to be a thing where I can't be jumping around from one episode to another when I start, getting deeper into Deep Space Nine, especially with the Dominion War. How serialized those episodes became, how you have to show one episode after another, just to keep everybody, up to speed as to what's going on, because you can't keep jumping around from one episode to a different episode and go, wait, what's going on now? It doesn't work in the later seasons of Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Deep Space Nine tried to do what Babylon 5 did better. Let's be honest.
I'll step back here.
What? There's no need to step back. There are things that Babylon 5 did better than Deep Space Nine, and things that Deep Space Nine did better than Babylon 5. And
Yep. I know. I was just kidding.
Now it's my turn to step back.
I mean, come on. They didn't have a Lando Malari. Come on. How could you not have a Lando?
I know. It's all about
they had a Quark.
Yeah, well, as much as I like Quark, he's no Lando.
That's true.
But before we get out of here, gentlemen, is there anything you'd like to promote?
No.
Friendship?
Friendship is good.
I promote friendship. And all you do Star Trekky fans out there, friendship. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah, of course. Deep Space Nine ripped off Babylon 5.
It's just, hey,
Well, you know, that's always been out there.
they tried to capture Magic in a Bottle for the second time.
Yes.
They did great, by the way. I think the best thing for me that came out of Deep Space Nine is obviously how they gave the Ferengi a real presence in this universe.
Mm. It was a redemption for the Ferengi.
It really was. And now they're awesome.
Yeah, I'm just going to play this clip for the sake of playing it.
Okay.
Greed is the purest, most noble of emotions.
Greed is dead. That's the 10th rule of acquisition.
No, it's not. The 10th rule of acquisition is greed is eternal.
Oh, no.
Yeah, come on. Some of the best episodes of Deep Space Nine are our Ferengi episodes.
Yep.
But Baron, do you have anything coming up?
No.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, I do want to thank everybody who spent time with us tonight to watch the 3 episodes that we watched. We, of course, watched The Infinite Vulcan. We watched Practical Joker. And we watched More Tribbles, More Trouble.
Ooh, this was a lot.
Yeah, but with those episodes being as short as they were, you can get it in one night.
But how can people handle this much content?
I don't know. But
Cyrano Jones here with Star Trek wipes. That's right. They have the most absorbent wipes you could ever have. Too much Star Trek? Never.
But of course, I want to thank the Admiral herself, Lady Mist. Of course, I want to thank you, Shane, for being our guest tonight. And Baron, thank you for being our guest tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Speaking of Shane, there he is.
Thanks. All right, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you very much for letting me be here, guys. Have a blessed night, everyone.
Not a problem. Looking forward to when we watch the 2 Towers.
Yeah. Have a blessed one yourself, sir.
Yes. Have a good night, brother. Also, Tim was here. The Pata Wannabe was here. And also, and I'm trying not to butcher this name. Ande Trent, thank you for being here. Of course, we also had Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective here. We also had Anonymous. 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 And of course, Anthony Marzano, thank you for being here with us tonight and having a discussion with us. That's what this show is, a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking through to make sure I got everybody. I don't want to miss anybody. DJ Ronnie G, I missed him. DJ, thank you very much, brother. And let's see. Okay, got them. And also over on the Rumble side, I do want to take the time to thank Multi-Dimensional Healing Super Soldier for following the Rumble channel. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, just say, hey, dummy, you forgot me. But just to let everybody, I didn't forget you, Baron. I never forget you. How can I forget you? I try not to forget anybody. I try not to forget anybody. Because I appreciate everybody who has taken time to stop by any stream. It doesn't matter if it's a stream or if it's Pop Talk or if it's a game stream. Anybody who stops by, I appreciate it. You're welcomed. We can have a conversation. We can have a discussion. And we proved it tonight. But as far as what's coming up tomorrow, it'll be Baron and I. I don't know if Cassius could be on or not because he's got the convention with his dad, because his dad does the board game convention. So I don't know if he's going to be with us or not. But Baron and I will definitely be here for Pop Talk tomorrow. We are going to talk about The Mandalorian and Grogu box office. Once that's released, of course, that'll be released before the 6 p.m. Eastern start time for tomorrow's show. But we'll find out how good or how bad the box office was for that movie. Was it the way? I don't know. And we'll also, of course, talk about a few other topics. One of the other topics that we are going to talk about is, of course, Sony is deciding, you know what, we need some more money, so we're going to go ahead and raise the price of PlayStation Plus for 1 month, 3 months, and yeah, I swear, Baron, don't these companies have enough money?
No, they need more.
Yeah. We're also going to be talking about the passing of former Blake Seven actor Michael Keating at the age of 79, and you never know what Baron and I might bring up during the course of tomorrow's show, but I invite you all to join us at 6 p.m. Eastern, and also channel members. All channel members, if you want to join Baron and I on the panel and discuss the topics for tomorrow with us, you're more than welcome to. Your link has already been placed in the post section on the YouTube side. So come join the party with Baron and I. Of course, also, I understand with it being Memorial Day weekend, some people are taking advantage of that extra 3-day holiday. So I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the next episode of The Adventure Continues is concerned, in a couple of weeks, I do have a DS9 episode in mind. And it's the one and only appearance of Q. That's right. Q only made one appearance on Deep Space Nine throughout its whole 7-season run. And, you know, it's amazing, you know, as popular as Q was for a time, you know, people liked to see him whenever he showed up. They knew that there's going to be trouble. But it's amazing that a character like that only shows up on Deep Space Nine one time throughout the 7 years. And we're going to be watching the episode Q-less from Deep Space Nine's first season. Picard never hit me. I'm not Picard. So that is what's going to be coming up for The Adventure Continues. Of course, for the rest of this week on Pacific Forum 4, I'll be playing more Mouse PI for Hire. Hopefully I can beat that boss I wasn't able to beat last night after I showed the video of the gameplay that I recorded for Blacksmith Wukon. And I'll be honest, Baron, I'm glad to be done with Blacksmith Wukon. I am. I enjoyed the game, but there were times where it was very frustrating. And I was also going, okay, I've been playing this game since September, October. I'm about ready to be done with it. So I'm glad to have that game finished. So it'll be Mouse PI for Hire on Tuesday. Of course, we have the Wednesday edition of Pop Talk at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then for Thursday, I'll be playing the game Metal Eden. And we'll see how that goes. I played the demo of that, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm really curious to see how the full game is. So I hope to see all of you in one capacity or another. Stop by the streams at 6 p.m. Eastern. Whether you stop by the YouTube channel, the Rumble channel, or Blaze, either of those channels will suffice. And until next time, everybody, thank you for watching, and live long and prosper.